Okay, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever time you're watching this. So we're just going to go through some of the setups we've had this year to see how they perform. And full screen reading. Okay, let's see. Okay, let's just go through. Firstly, we had AUD USD. Now, we say refer to trade methodology document for confirmation checklist. Now, there are certain things we want to see in a trade before taking the trade, and we have that available in our library. If you go to our library, Think Smart FX on Telegram, you're going to see the trade methodology. So one of the first things we check for, I want to trade harmonic patterns. I love harmonic patterns. So the first thing I do is check for a harmonic pattern. Now it's very simple. I don't want to stress myself. Of course, I can get set up on my own, but I just believe these ones, they are more like high probability trades. Then why do I need to stress myself when there's a software that can give me high probability trade setup that's like doing 80% of the work for me, and then all I just need to do is just do 20% and confirm. So it's wiser and smarter to actually use the software to save time, because you need time for everything. I mean, get tired of spending all day on system checking and all that. You can just simply use the harmonic scanner, put in the confirmation checks, and then you go ahead and take the trade once it's ready for an entry. So that's what we did. This trade setups you're going to be seeing here, we have like 80 to no, not even 80. It's actually to be modest. We'll say 80% and 5% win rate, but actually it's more than that, as you see. So now we have AUD USD. This was a success. We had GBP GJ, that's before and after. This was a success. We have CHF JPY. This was a loss. This failed. We have NZD USD. This was a success. We have Euro JPY. This was a success. We had Euro CAD. This was a success. Euro NZD. This was a success. We had Euro GBP trade is still on. This was a success. And then we had USD CAD. USD CAD actually failed. And we're still looking for a sell. We still believe it's sell setup. No, it's NFP, and of course, market is going to, anyway, just NFP. And so we expect some manipulations and all that, but we're still expecting a sell. We're going to check for a re-entry, another setup later on, maybe after the news and all that. All right, so we have NZD JPY buy. Okay, we've not actually updated these two. So we're just going to take a look at them, NZD JPY and Euro JPY. That's what's left. So now let's check them out. Let's see. Euro JPY. All right, so after that, I can call this a success. Why? Because any trade that goes above 20 pips to us is a success, because our trade risk management requires that once a trade has moved 20 pips, secure at least 1 pip. Either you move it to entry or you secure 1 pip, because it's better for the trade to come back, knock you out of the market, that eats your stop profit, hit you out in stop profit than stop loss. It's always better, because you can always reanalyze and then re-enter the trade. Okay, so very important. We don't joke with trade management. We're very aggressive about that. Now you see that Euro JPY has gone about, this is crazy. Euro JPY has gone about 102 pips. So this actually is a successful trade. Trade for intraday traders, I mean, 50 pips is a successful trade, 20 pips is a successful trade. By the time you start using one lot and all that, 20 pips is $200. So we call any trade has gone above that success. All right. So Euro JPY is a success. We're going to update this. We'll do the final update later, but we're just going to update this particular one. Now you can see this trade methodology I'm showing you. We're showing you guys the before and the after. Now you can see the win rate very high. Very, very high. Okay, so let's check out NZD JPY. Now, these are all harmonic patterns, either fresh patterns. Sometimes we also use completed patterns because sometimes completed patterns, now the pattern is complete, so we are looking for a trade in the next direction. For example, this was a completed pattern. This particular Euro card was a completed pattern. Let's go back to Euro card buy. Now you can see this was a completed harmonic pattern. We took a buy on this particular one. Okay, so let's go to NZJPY. Now this one, actually this one hit stop loss, but you can see the trade is still valid. Stop loss was maybe just to close, but then we'll not call this really a success. This was a failed trade that was just few, let's say, it was 58 p, 44 p thereabouts and all that, but market still trying to go in a direction. But this is going to be reanalyzed, so we're going to call this a failed trade. This didn't go well, this didn't go well, this didn't go well. So where are you? Where are you? NJ, okay. And I did GPY after failed. Okay. All right. So let's go to the training for today. All right. So what do we exactly do when we want to take a trade? Now there are certain things you need to see in the market for you to take a particular trade. So if you're not on our Telegram channel, you can just go Think Smart Forex. We have our trade methodology somewhere here. Okay. All right, this is it. So you see the trade methodology. These are the things we look out for when we want to take a trade. We have our levels, peak formation, high, low, and that's the high of the day or the high of the week and all that. We have our market maker patterns. We have our harmonics. Sorry, let me just deal with this. Just a minute. Just a minute. Just a minute. All right, so we have this particular ones, harmonics and Fibonacci, but I want to take the harmonics first because I don't want to just stress myself and start looking for fresh, just go to my chart and all that. So now since the harmonic already has like setups, so I just want to take one of the setups, two setups like that and confirm the trade. Look for confirmation and all that. So the 4-hour time frame, we'll look at the trend. The 1-hour time frame, we want to look at the levels and then previous week high and low, previous day high and low, all that W information, stop on. Now all these things will look like a jargon to you, but just go to Think Smart FX. Everything that we trade with is available here free. So all you need to do is just go through it, okay? So we have everything here free. Now there's a picture here, you can see the market maker circle. Now we have these are entry triggers. These are things you're going to be looking out for when you want to enter a trade. This candlestick. So you have to read the book Candlestick Pattern. Again, the Candlestick Pattern book is on the channel. So we have our shift candles, blah, 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 and all that. So this is a W formation. We have our levels, level 1, level 2, level 3, and then the M formation. This level 3s are things you look out for, multi-day W or M. MW pattern. Now I want to show you a live example of this multi-day M or W pattern. We had this form in I think that was Euro card. Even look at Euro card. Euro card. We had this multi-session W and M pattern form on Euro card. You can see that. Okay, this is daily. Let me take it to the 4-hour so you can see that there. Okay, see, this is it. So multi-session. Now this formed different sessions. So we had multi-W formation. So this actually showed it was really, really, really a peak formation stuff, a peak formation setup. Okay, so That's it. So now we have your EMAs and all that. I don't really use indicators. The only stuff I use is the harmonic scanner, and then the TDI I just use to check sometimes as well. So these EMAs, I don't really know. We have EMAs to be found out, that's separated. Then you have the vector, outside structure. We have the TDI, of course, will be at extreme. Yesterday's close of the day will be greater than 50 pips on the second leg. That is the what's it called? The outside structure. Okay, I'll show you an example of that. Then we have the harmonic pattern, we have a reversal pattern anchor. So all these available to you. Just go through them. All right, so let's go through. Let's look for a fresh pattern that we can actually use as an example in this training class. So let's, as usual, my routine, I'll go to the harmonic scanner. I actually prefer the higher time frame because I believe they are more, it takes time for the patterns to form, and they are actually more reliable. Of course, you want 1 hour, 30 minutes, 15 minutes, of course, they're also good for short-term trades. I'm not saying they're not good, I'm just saying I prefer the higher time frame because it takes time. So the patterns are actually more solid. So let me reload and see if we have any fresh pattern we can just use for today to go through methodology. So let's check this out. Let's see, it's a daily. First, do we have any daily fresh pattern? Or one that's still very, very, very fresh. Okay, we have something on GA. We're going to check out GA. Then let me check the 4R. GA, AUDCHF. So just keep that in mind, GA, AUDCHF, just in case I forget, kindly remind me, GA and AUDCHF. Then for every indication looking like dollar is going to be very weak today. Okay, on the 4R we have USD JPY. So let's look at today's news. I don't want to really mess around with USD pay. Let's just look at GBPAUD. We have GBPAUD on the 4R. Only 4-hour daily. I'll check that. 4-hour GBPAUD. All right, so this one is still around the entry zone, but it's already gone a bit, but we can still analyze this anyway. So let's look at number one. We're looking at, remember the trade methodology, we're looking at harmonic pattern. We already have that. We're looking at levels. Now, if we were to count the level from this peak formation for this particular pair, this is level 1. This is level 2. And boom, this is level 3. So on a daily, GBPAUD has already gone 3 levels. Now, by looking at this, I already see, let's see, I already see divergence, though it's not, let me show you, this is divergence. So divergence is also one of the things to look out for. Remember, divergence, we're looking for shark fin as well. Now, if you have 3, I'm okay with 3. So the divergence, this is from here to here. Actually, there's not really divergence, just a little bit, but not much. Just slightly, we can skip that. We'll look at shark fin. Now, shark fin, look at the TDI. This came out, the green line came out of the Bollinger Band. The Bollinger Band is the blue one. So this came out of it, popped out. So this is actually the shark fin we're talking about. This particular region, there's a shark fin. Okay, so that's already like 2 confirmations. Let's check for another one. We're going to look for the previous day high and low. We're going to look out for other block. So let's check out, do we have any sort of other block on the time frame? That pattern came on a daily, so yes, we do. Look at this. The last bullish candle before, or the bearish candle before. we're still going to check on 4 hour anyway. So this is this. We're expecting price to come. We test this. We test this. It's like 151 pips thereabout. So let's have our GBPAUD setup. So we already have our confirmation level 3 already. So this is a peak formation. Sorry, this is a peak formation high. So now for GBPAUD, this is what I'm going to monitor. GBPAUD sell. We have a harmonic pattern here. We have a peak formation. We have a level 3 rise. Then we have an order block. So all right, so now we're going to be looking out for this particular optimal entry area to come to either 62 or around here anyway. So if price doesn't reverse here, the next line we're going to be looking at entry is 50%. Just take 50% of this candle. 50%. So this will be targeting this for our next entry. Then of course this is daily time frame, so stop loss is going to be somewhere. Now sometimes the setups that was even sent out to the channel, we doesn't mean it's ready, because sometimes we have to readjust. It's just a setup. When we are ready, when we see the candlestick confirmation, that's when we enter the trade. So sometimes it can go up, but we are not in that trade yet. So the setup just to help everybody monitor and check. So we're looking at this, then TP, we're looking at somewhere here. Let's check out the harmonic TP1. One was giving us 1.89154. So let's take that 1.89454, right? 1.89454. Okay. We'll take TP2. 1.83981. That 1.83, that's huge. 1.83981. Anyway, it's a daily time frame. 1.83981. All right, so this would be GJ setup, sell setup. So this is like risking. This is huge. This is not the stop loss we're going to use anyway. We're going to go down to the 4 hour and then the 15 minutes time frame to get a proper entry. So let me do this on the 1 hour, on the 44 hour time frame, because we already know, okay, this is harmonic. All right, we have a confirmation. Let's see. Now, how many pips is that? 130 pips. All right, that's okay. So we're going to watch out again on the 15 minutes time frame for a sell. on this particular pattern. Now we're just going to have maybe a retracement up, and then we'll be looking out for an entry, and then we can take the trade. Okay, so we're going to keep eyes on this. So this is just how you can take a trade, a high probability setup, and then you can monitor the trade. Now you can see that took me, I think, just because I'm training, usually that will take me like 2 minutes to confirm the setup. And all I need to do is just to watch out for the trade, and then when it plays out, I'm ready to take the trade. And I'll buy. As simple as that. Okay. So that's it for the class. Do you have any question? I don't want this to be a long video. All right, so I'm just going to upload this for those who were not able to attend. Thank you for joining us. Have a wonderful day and trade safe.